Hello everybody, I'm Antonia and this is Noel and we are from Boxtail Street Theatre Company and we are again in our studio. It's very chilly today. Noel's just turned the blow heater off because it makes a lot of noise, so I'm now shivering.
It'll only take a minute. So obviously we are continuing with the build for this stuff for Expo 2020 Dubai. It's getting closer. We've got a couple of weeks to get everything finished. We're doing okay, but there is a lot to get done. So we've basically been working long days, really, haven't we?
We have. We've been getting here very early and finishing pretty late.
Yeah.
But it's it's all good in it. And with this kind of job, I think that's just the way it is, isn't it? We plough through all the way until we do the event, and then we'll have a couple of days off when we get back before we go on to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a crunch just to get everything done, and also you want to get it done to your satisfaction as well.
That's it, I think, really. That's why we're doing the long days at the moment, is to sort of get ahead of it so that we're making sure that we don't leave ourselves only 24 hours to add the finishing touches. We want to give ourselves plenty of time.
And the trouble is, obviously, that if you try and take time off during that, all you can do is think about all the stuff that needs doing. So in fact, you don't really relax anymore.
No. These hands give you an idea of the sort of scale of the puppet. So you've got a giant... I don't know whether I'm actually waving this in the right place for the camera, but hopefully you can see kind of what. And
this one will obviously hold some kind of stick.
Yeah.
So yeah, that gives you an idea of the scale of the whole thing anyway.
That one, I papier-mâché'd that one yesterday. It's not quite finished. It needs a little bit of shaping around the side. But oh my goodness, it was a nightmare. I was cursing it at one point to get all the little fiddly bits underneath. But I'm actually quite pleased with the finish on it. We've got through so much of our wonderful paper. It's this paper that we use, which you can only get from one place in the whole of the UK. And we have got through so many rolls of it because it's just the scale of the thing is it's just so big. Everything, all the pieces, all the leg pieces, all the arm pieces, are all so big. Yeah. But it does look good. We put it all together, didn't we?
Yes, we can't put the whole thing together because it's too tall to go in this space. So when we are testing it, we have to test it kind of lower half and then upper half.
Yes.
Or
with and without stilts, really, isn't it? Basically.
We can put the whole thing together, just no stilts, no the very bottom of the legs we can't put on. But yeah, we were pleased. I mean,
really pleased, and we put it together before we'd covered everything. Now everything for one puppet is finished, is covered.
Yeah. So now I am basically duplicating a lot of those parts for the second puppet. There are some little differences here and there, but for the most part, I can just duplicate everything, which is much quicker than the initial build of having to figure out the size and dimensions and shapes of everything. And you're basically still covering stuff.
Yeah, just whatever Noel, once he's cut it out of the cardboard, passes it over to me and I start covering it. So I spend my life covered in PVA glue at the moment. But I am really pleased, like I said, with the finish on everything. So much so, in fact, that we love the colour of the paper that we use, and it's very much a sort of signature for the company's used on all of our puppets. We like it so much that we're actually going to wait till we've put it all together with it all covered to decide how much of that kind of bone paper colour we want to leave and how much we want to cover with any sort of paint, because it gives it this almost sort of fossil-like quality, which I really like.
Yeah.
Makes it look quite ancient, which we really wanted to get into these puppets. We wanted to get that sort of sense of mythology and tradition and the ancientness of the UK.
So rather than painting the whole thing, it might be a case of judicious use of paint here and there.
Yes, highlighting
and then
things.
leaving some of it bare as is.
We reached a little problem, didn't we, at one point this week, where we've got a gap between the I don't know what you call it. We keep calling it a placard, but the piece that goes effectively across the chest. And then there's what we call the pants, which is the bit that kind of then goes around your bum and connects the legs. And there's a gap between those two things, which we knew there was going to be, but we were trying to work out how to bridge the gap. And we spent a while banging our heads against cardboard, kind of going, oh, what about this piece? And in the end, our wonderful text fabric, which features in all of our shows, came to the rescue, and we realised that actually that bridges the gap in the most effective way, whilst also adding to the look of it.
And I also think that it's nice to have that signature text fabric, that thing that kind of identifies it as ours.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that in there somewhere. So I'm kind of pleased that we ended up on that.
Yes.
So that is really it, because literally all we've done all week, and there's been no breaks, no days off or anything like that, is just come in, continue building and covering stuff, and then go home and then come back the next day. It's coming along all right, as we said, but we're just going to get back to it now and carry on.
So we'll see you next week with our progress.